Pledge. She volunteers for the Capital Area Response Effort and Caring About Kids. She's a member of the Capital Area Moms of Multiples, bless her, but the twins are now 4, so she's getting a little more sleep than she did in the previous year, so I was very glad to hear that. She's been a longtime supporter of the Women's Center, and Stephanie and her husband are one of the Women's Center founding families. Welcome.
It's a little bit lighter than the shake weight, actually. Well, if you've been to She Laughs before, you know it's a great evening. Fun, enjoyable, and full of laughter, if you're in the audience. When you're up here, bearing your soul and sharing embarrassing stories, it's kind of a little different experience. Granted, this isn't the first time I've opted to change my perspective by being up here. But please remember, I am very much an amateur. I don't have DVDs and t-shirts to sell after the show. But if you're a lucky bidder in the silent auction, you may just have something to go home to remember me by. I'm sorry, it's not this sweatshirt. We'll let the suspense build and bring that item out later. As some of you may know, I live in Lansing. I'm a social worker, married with 3 young children, and I will celebrate the 15th anniversary of my 25th birthday in less than a month. It's exciting. Now, if you're kind of intrigued on how I ended up on the stage in the first place, you can still catch it on YouTube. And you can still hear her laughing. However, my goal tonight was to get as many people here to support the great work of the Women's Center of Greater Lansing. So thank you to all of you for your contribution tonight. I'm still going, and I'm glad you're in the front row. Now, after last year's performance, I actually was feeling pretty good about how things had gone. And a couple weeks later, I was even recognized in public. Someone stopped me and said, "Didn't you do Stand Up for She Laughs?" And I was flattered. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm impressed that you still remembered me." And she said, "Well, you're wearing the exact same outfit." At least I'm known for something. Well, that kind of brought me back down to earth, which was good. Then my husband said, "You know, actually, you've had like 100 hits on your YouTube." And I was like, okay, well, that's better. Until I saw that How to Irrigate Your Nasal Passages had 950,000 hits. That was a little bit of a reality check. But I guess if I really was looking for notoriety, I should just really post a video of myself blowing my nose in this exact same outfit. Now, approaching 40, I said it, has given me a new perspective. And in preparation for this milestone, I decided to make myself a vision board. I don't know if you've heard of those. But it's where you kind of have a visual representation of your hopes and goals and things you want to accomplish. It's supposed to be pretty powerful. So my first attempt was kind of vague. I had some key values like make the world a better place. Can't go wrong there. And then I was reading an article about simple living, and so I saw a picture of a table with the word downsizing on it. Cut that out, glued it on there. And it didn't really take long to kind of see the impact and the power that was going on, because I went in for my annual physical, and I found out I was shorter by ½ an inch. And then I read that as we age, our brain actually shrinks. And then Grand Ledge decided to close the school that I was working at. Yeah, there really wasn't the downsizing I had in mind. So I quickly went home and ripped that picture off. And I replaced it with something more specific, which was obviously needed. And I found a quote, and the quote was, "I'm working on letting go of the things in my life that no longer have real use." Yeah, it was nice. Now let's be clear. I'm not talking about my sports bra. From high school. Because I still have it. And I still wear it. I know that frightened my sister, but it's true. So no, letting go is not something that comes easily to me. And so, when I was having to pack up my office to change schools, I knew it was something I really shouldn't do by myself. And so, I really needed someone who had a passion for purging, an excitement about decluttering. And there was a friend from high school who courageously volunteered to help me go through my piling cabinets. Yes, I'm a self-identified piler, not a filer. So basically, my filing cabinets are drawers with piles of paper in them. And on top of it, and on the side of it. Now, my husband, who has all kinds of suggestions, thought that I didn't really need to make a vision board, I should have just made a vision pile. Anyway, as we were looking through the masses of materials, she was trying to encourage me to let go of some of the materials from the late 80s. She even went as far to say, mid-90s probably can go as well. I was having a tough time with this, but she said, there are other resources out there, more current information that you could have at your fingertips. It's called the internet. Okay. Apparently, cyberspace is less cluttered than my office space. Now, there was kind of an excitement after we got it all done, and I was moving forward with this momentum. And momentum is also a word that's on my vision board, so I was like, okay, let's get in my hope chest at home. So we started working on that, and if you're familiar with the hope chest, it's kind of a traditional, large, I think sometimes expensive, big chest that a girl is supposed to put all her hopes and precious memories in. I gotta say though, I think that's a little bit sexist, don't you? Do you know of any men who have their own hope chest? Pardon?
Yeah, it's in the garage.
It's in the garage. Well, my husband has an old shoebox where he keeps his treasures. My old letters, of course. His first whoopee cushion. And some fake dog poop. That's really true. I don't know though. I think sometimes our culture is trying to encourage women to hoard stuff so they can fill up these less than full chests. Or maybe that's just my issue. But actually, going through my hope chest was quite fun and brought back a lot of memories from the past 4 decades. And so I wanted to share with you some of the highlights. As you saw previously, 0 to 10. This is me at age 7. Pretty sweet and innocent, huh? There's more to come, I don't know. Now, they say the truth will set you free, but when you're a kid, it just makes you realize that people have been lying to you. I was a 2nd grader when I came home from school, and I asked my mom if Santa was real. She decided to come clean about Santa, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and if that wasn't shocking enough, where babies come from. I didn't see that one coming. Apparently, the guilt of her deception had been weighing heavily on her, so she just gave it to me all at once. What do you do with that kind of information? You run across the street to your best friend's house, and you freak her out too! And then you help spread the truth like wildfire through the neighborhood. Now, the next decade includes that preteen, kind of awkward phase. Actually, my dad would often do slideshows, the old-fashioned kind of slideshows, and we would look back and see our vacation or something else. But I remember after a slideshow around this time period, my dad actually said, "Geez, Steph, you went through a really rough patch." Thanks. A lot of good that feedback does me now, Chester. Where were you when I left the house for picture day? That was going to get so much laugh. Yes, I was part of the Mullet Nation. For 2 years running. And I'm trying to remember where I go after that. Oh, thank you, that's right. I probably could have used a little bit more direction. Maybe even an intervention. I possibly still could.